guess we could probably start now. So I'll start with introductions. My name's Andy. I'm part of D53. Been in D53 for a bit of a year, I guess now. And I've been playing this game for about 2.5 years or so. So today, just like to welcome everybody to the end of season after party, I guess, and I guess general conversation and chats with everybody, just to see, how things are going, what are people's thoughts on the new systems and everything like that. Well, what I'll do is the first part is just the introduction to our guests. We have a few wonderful guests today. From different guilds. I'd like to offer them a voice to give a shout out to their guild members and give thanks to the community, I guess, and all their players as well. The second part of it is going to be discussions on various topics, and I'll be asking the representatives to sort of put their comments in and have an open mic for people that want to also add to the topics, and if they also have any questions they want to ask, feel free to put your hand up. So the thing that I asked everybody to do today is just to keep everything PG and also be mindful of time and be respectful to others, because we do intend to post this up on YouTube. And so just I want everybody to have fun and sort of be relaxed. It's not anything official. We're not here for any interviews or anything like that. So just enjoy yourselves. And I'll start off with inviting Autumn from D53, who will also be my co-host today. But I also have other people sort of keeping an eye on the chat. So yeah, we'll go through questions and answers later. Autumn, how are you?
Hi, sorry.
That's okay.
Thanks, Andy. I appreciate it.
Let's go ahead.
Hi, I'm Autumn. I'm an OG member of D53, and I'd just like to welcome everybody for coming this evening. I appreciate your time. It's been a while since we've had a community event, and we've all been talking about how we feel it's really important for us as a community in the game to get together and just take a moment to just, give ourselves a pat on the back. I mean, we invest a lot of our time, a lot of our money, a lot of our resources playing this game, and it is nice to just take a few moments, give shout outs to our guildmates and other players in the game, just to show our appreciation for their participation. We kind of are the ambassadors for the game in a way. A lot of us have been here for a long time. And, we know that whether you're flipping towers, you're buying speed cards, you're sitting on the bench, or, it's all part of being a team. And so we just wanted to get back to a little bit of that community feel and vibe with each other. I'm just going to go ahead and give a shout out to my D53 family. I'm really honored to be a part of this group of people. They play really hard. And they have a lot of fun. Just a couple of shout outs to some of our really active players like Dustin, Andy, Jervis, our European players, Donald Duck, Elwin. We got another New Yorker, Jason. We got the guys who go out and flip towers all night long, Wishmaster, Megatron. And two of the people I depend on a lot personally for support is Shamaru and Elle. So thank you guys so much for everything. You guys are sincerely the best. And of course, finally to the big man himself, Romules, who none of us would be here in D53 if it wasn't for his visionary leadership and staying up 48 hours straight for us. So thanks, guys. Back to you, Andy.
Thanks, Autumn. Next, I have Aurae, who's coming from the UK, so it's very early for her. Appreciate you coming on, Aurae. Go ahead and give us a shout out.
Thanks, Andy. So my name's Aurae, and I run Soups Girl even, and I run Moria. So I just wanted to give a shout out to my really hardworking deputies. So I've got Rugzilla, Momo, and Snen. And I've got so many fantastic members in my guild, and they try really hard. You don't always expect it because we've got some smaller players, but they try so hard. They constantly retake the map. We've got loads of them. We've got Merwin, Ian, Shadowwood, Shazam, Madara, Bob. so many people that just try really hard and they make running Moria just the best job that I've had for the last year. So thank you very much, Moria.
Thanks, Aurae. I have Azrael representing TD.
Hi, thanks, Andy. First, I wanted to thank the leadership team, Aurora, Grumpy, Shard, Vex. You guys are awesome. Thanks for putting up with my sleep schedule, because it's crazy. We wind up talking at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and just normal people don't do this. But yeah, thank you for that. This season we had a bunch of new players, and they really kind of just stepped up. Fledrin, you're out there. Bazinga, GTC, absolute all-star, playing like 3 accounts, and I don't know how he does that. Awesome. And yeah, I'd just like to say thank you to the community for being out there playing. We really enjoy it, so bring it on.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Azrael. We have Erosa, who just left, as I said. That's fine. We can get Mac.
I believe I unmuted myself.
Oh, there you are. Sorry. You moved up there. Sorry, Erosa. Go ahead, Erosa.
Oh, hey, it's Arosa, representing Rebel Dragons. Our guildmaster Khaleesi couldn't be here tonight, but we just really want to thank our entire guild. Don't want to leave anybody out. We had a big merge, and it's just been really awesome seeing how everybody can come together, work together, kick some ass.
Thank you. Awesome. Mac?
Hi, my name is, it's Mac Hilarious, but everyone calls me Mac. I am the guild leader of Renegade Outpost, and I am just come here to say, with my leadership, thank you to Daywalker and D-Rankist, and we also had story time, and our third spot we're going to rotate, so now it's going to be Joby. So good luck, Joby. Anyway, so just want to say thank you very much. We did a lot of half our guild, merged over to another, decided that we're just going to build it back up, and with a lot of help with Daywalker, he did really great. Recruiter, appreciate everything that he's been doing, and that for what we are today, I appreciate everyone that's joined us and worked so hard to get to where we're at now, and I can't wait for the next season to start.
Great, thank you. Me too. So let's, I want to thank everybody for sort of coming on and saying hello and appreciating the members. It can be quite tough managing as well. So really appreciate your work and what you add to the community and what you add for your players as well. So keep up that good work. Do I have any other guild leaders or guild representatives that want to hop on? If you do, you can put your hand up and then we can add you. So I'll get people to sort of keep an eye on the hand ups. And also at any time during this conversation, if you would like to put your hand up and add something, by all means, put your hand up as well and we can get you into the call. All right, so look, I guess the first thing we want to talk about...
Vex has put her hand up.
Vex put her hand up. Go ahead, Vex.
Yeah, welcome, Vex.
Welcome.
Hello, welcome. But I'm the deputy of Woven Souls, and our wonderful guild leader, Lovey, could not be here because she said she was working. So I'm supposed to say how wonderful and awesome her deputies are. Yeah, I'm one of them, but that's okay.
Thank you.
Also a shout out to all of the great deputies and the players that we have gotten this season. And I'm supposed to give an extra special thank you and a huge hug to Az for all the support he has given her through this season. But we also wanted to congratulate everyone on their success. And even those that, not just the top 10, but anyone that made any progress, whether top 50, 20, we just wanted to say congratulations to everyone. And we look forward to see what comes next season. Thanks for letting me speak.
No, awesome. Thank you, Vex.
I think we also have Lady Momo here. So welcome, Lady Momo. Come, go ahead and unmute and.
Hi there. So I'm the deputy for Moria, as was mentioned, and I'm also the GM for Fatal Hugs. And I'm so proud of the way that we performed this season, ended up top 34, have some amazing folks. One of my guildies runs our top 3 accounts, and she's amazing. And we really came together a lot this season, had a few merges. So thank y'all for letting me speak.
Fantastic. Thank you, Lady Momo. Anybody else? If I guess that's it. So let's start with the first topic, and because it's the end of the GC season and we're in the break, I'd like to sort of get people's thoughts on what they thought about the GC season, this particular round. Aurae, do you have any thoughts on the GC and how it went for your guild, and what would you like? What's the good, the bad?
Do we have to go to me first?
Well, I thought I'd get you to say it first because it's 1 a.m. for you, and in case you needed to leave early.
Oh, put on the spot there. Yeah, I think it was really nice that we saw a lot of different guilds this season. So there's quite a few new guilds that we haven't played before, and it was really nice to meet new people and to just enjoy ourselves, really, because obviously we've all been doing this for quite a long time now, and we see quite a lot of the same people. So it's quite nice to see, obviously, the same people we've seen before, but also quite a few new faces. We've obviously had a merge this past season. So we merged with Renegades, who we're affiliated with now. So it was just really nice to sort of come together as a team, really, again. So I just think the guild did really, really well, and it's been a lot of fun, and especially the end rounds as usual. They're always my favourite, the last sort of 4 rounds. So yeah, that's when the map sucks a bit, but it does quite often, doesn't it? So yeah. But
they did say that they were going to not put this particular map in the rotation anymore. So hopefully that's true.
That's decent. But
yeah. Cool. Anybody else have any thoughts about, I guess everyone knows about the map. Is there anything that you would like changed in GC, the match system? Anybody have any thoughts on that? Erosa? Not to put you on the spot.
I mean, as far as matching goes, I don't know. I know Rama said he wants the matching to change because it's just a numbers game at the end. The whole season doesn't matter. But I don't really see how they can fix it because we had randoms and that wasn't fun either. So I'm not really sure on match game, to be honest.
Yeah, there was some talk about an idea where you get a similar situation like Luxus tournament where it's sort of random in the beginning in brackets,
like
and then
real life sports team brackets,
yeah. Well, there's potential with that. I could see it, but then that would have to separate, the brackets into their own winning statuses. Like if you're gonna win the big bracket, that's one thing. If you're gonna win the middle bracket, that's one thing. Like it can't just be win over everything.
I kind of like to see like the first part of GC season just be like where you have to fight other guilds at least once. So you get a chance to actually play with them. Sometimes you end up, and I think the way they have the points distributed, it just skews a lot of things. It should just be a pretty simple win-loss ratio, or 2 for a win, 1 for second place, and 0 for third or something, and then be a lot easier to get the the semifinals kind of lined up from that kind of a system.
And I guess some people have said bring back speeds for rallies. I don't think we want that, do we?
Yeah, definitely.
That was for me.
I think it would give the element of surprise if you have a smaller guild, and they have to put their whole guild in there to just bust through, and then they had the opportunity to at least speed it up and kind of cause a little chaos on the map. It might add a little element of surprise, I think.
Yeah, I think it's
actually,
I'm not against it.
Azrael, you had something to add?
No, I'd say overall, I preferred having the speeds on the rallies.
There you go. I guess it is popular. Maybe something that we can bring up.
Ramble. I mean, it's what's not to like about a fast rally.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I guess it lets people play as well instead of just set and forget.
Okay, so that was what I posted saying with the rallies is mainly because if let's say there's a big guy or on a tower and you get like a good chunk of your team in there and it takes an hour or so for one to like get everyone in there and then another hour to march and then they can just move just to the other tower and then back and then or just stomp you. It's just such a slow process, and then that just loses opportunity for trying to get other towers out in the field and whatnot. And
I think the 5X rally gives the activity teams a chance. So, like, if you have a strong player but they're lazy, you can overcome that with those fast rallies, getting out, having everybody moving. It gives activity a chance.
I was just going to interject for a minute. Prometheus just wanted to give a shout out. He said he wanted to give a shout out to his new guild Inside. They played all out this season with a special shout out to Popeye, Veteran, Serb, and the others that I forgot. LOL. With a heart emoji. So thanks, Prometheus. Appreciate you giving a shout out to your guild and your guildies.
Okay, so I guess our next topic is a new system that came in Astrolabes. Now, I do apologize. I call it Astro Blades and in my videos and a whole bunch of other things. Rom's call it Astro Plates because he's thinking about food. But what does everyone think about this system? Is it really going to be a game changer? Is it going to be expensive? Do people like it? Do people hate it? So, yeah, I'd like to get everyone's thoughts on that. Azrael, do you want to start us off with that one?
Yeah, so I think it's going to be expensive. I do think it's going to be a game changer. It's pretty daunting, the RNG aspect of it. I have my first legendary, and it's, of course, Fort. So,
ouch.
Of course.
Yeah, you've got to deal with that.
Or block.
But yeah. My issue right now with Astrolabes is prioritizing them. Like, if you're currently growing your account in multiple directions, where does this fit in? And to what point do you push it before you need to be focused back on other stuff?
That's true. That makes sense? Yeah, that's true. It's always part of another system that sort of melds with other systems as well, and you got to prioritize which system you want to sort of invest your money on.
Exactly.
Absolutely true. But and like you said, and a lot of people are pointing out in the chat, it's about RNG, and I guess if people have played other games like Raid Shadow Legends, for example, it's people were farming gear and purely because of that RNG, and again, it can get quite expensive. And I think that's what Goat Games is, gearing towards. What about the mechanic and managing of this system? Does anyone have any thoughts on it? Azrael, what do you think about the management of this system? What can be done?
One of the biggest issues is not being able to see what they are before you dismantle. So you kind of guess which stats were on the one, I think you saw that in your video too. Where you can
correct. Well, one of the solutions was to level it up temporarily and then dismantle it and you get all your resources back. But I guess we shouldn't have to do that, right?
Right. You have to come up with a workaround to the system because it's vulnerable.
They sort of fixed that. If you use the filter that's right above the buttons at the bottom, you can select, like I always do, Fortitude, Constitution percent, Fortitude percent, block, and the plain strength, not the strength percent. And then it'll only show you those. Then I dismantle them all.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know if that was always there or not, but if you're looking at...
No, that was in the last... That was last week with the patch.
Okay, so it's new. So the videos that Andy did, that wasn't there. So you couldn't see anything. It was blind.
Yeah, I'm saying they fixed that, though. Now, if you use that filter, and you can sort and filter on the main screen, and you can sort and filter on the dismantle.
And so if you need to find that filter, it looks like the little golf thing that you stick the ball on, like that you stick in the dirt. I don't know what it's called, but that's what it looks like. It's on your screen.
Tylertron said that even having like a separate page for all of it to be consolidated in one area might be a helpful idea for the developers.
I agree.
Like they do for the sprites. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. On the map, like somewhere that you can click and you can see kind of all of them and then click on them and expand on that. Like you shouldn't have to click on each cham to do it. It's just weird.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that's the consensus with the community is just having a separate window for the system itself. I think
I'd rather they fixed the marriage stuff, and I would love to see them do something about the RNG of sprite blessings. I spent 4,000 potions and got one small upgrade. Tired of hitting a button and not getting anything.
And the fact that those numbers don't make any sense with the thresholds and the colors.
Yeah,
I don't know why the numbers are overlapping. Yeah, the numbers shouldn't be overlapping. But I think so. With this,
Jason, you got 3 legendaries and a bunch of epics. Nice.
Unknowns left a voice note in the chat log. I'm not sure if we can actually play that. If it would show up in the speakers.
Yeah, I think we need somebody to listen to it, maybe transcribe it, if possible.
And again, for anybody who's late joining us, we've given every guild an opportunity to come on up and give a shout out to their players for a hard-fought season. So if you're late and you'd like to do that, you can just go ahead and type in the chat or put your hand up. And again, it's just an open discussion about some of the game modes that we have. And we're definitely interested in everybody's thoughts on that. So feel free. We'll read the comments out if you don't want to come on stage.
Yeah, absolutely. With the Astrolabe mechanic, have people been using them a certain way that would really boost your team, or is it just only a small increase? Or is it too early to tell because we don't have the bigger ones? Has anybody noticed anything, Erosa?
Yeah, so I think it's not going to really start mattering until you make your Astrolabe bigger. Like, I think that's going to be what actually makes the difference. So whoever gets the biggest Astrolabe first is going to have the best advantage, right? So like the starlight shards, all those little buffs, they're all very like minimal things. And the way they are right now, it's all very minimal. But if you invest a lot of money, or it just so happens that your Astrolabe gets really big and you have space for more puzzle pieces, that's going to be the real like difference maker. Like right now, it's too early to see it because nobody's Astrolabe is huge. But once they get big, and they're going to get big, it's going to be intense.
I kind of feel like it's the other way. That if you can get them to Mythic and get them leveled up to where instead of 0.8% or 1.2, you're getting them up to 7, 8, 9%. Having more of them is going to help, but getting the Mythics and getting them leveled up, I think, are going to be a bigger impact than a bunch of small impacts. Than more small impacts.
Has anybody noticed whether the stats are larger in the higher tiers?
What do you mean stats are like as far as
the range?
Leveled up to their respective levels, like 10, right?
Mario said not by a lot.
All right,
I would agree with that. It's not by a lot, but it's probably like the sprites where you can level them up more if they're legendary or mythic. But I don't have any mythics yet, and the highest one I've got is level 5.
Okay. I know at level 10 they start going up by 0.2 instead of 0.1. So assuming maybe at 20 they start going up by 0.3.
Tomorrow's posted a joke in the chat. It goes, the male Escobar and Eldrassil Guardian walk into a bar and try to order drinks, but the bartender drops the glass. There is no counter.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Blue probably also brought up a different topic, but I thought I'd mention it here. Just the better ways to manage the traits in the marriage system. We've been screaming for filters and screaming for better management, but I don't think that's on their plans even possible. I know they mentioned something potentially in the past, but it's not very high on their priority list, unfortunately. But yeah, that is such a nightmare system, and I don't know whether they deliberately do it to make our lives hard. But yeah, everyone's been crying for it.
The more we complain, the higher the priority will get. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Does anyone else have anything to add on Astrolabes? No? Okay. The new sprite that's just come out. Has anybody had a chance to work with it, put in their teams, use it, integrate it? And is it performing or is it underperforming? Anyone used it at all? Grumpy?
I have not, but I tell you what, I will give Goat props for the way they released this Convoke. It's sprite specific, but you're not getting a bunch of shards for a sprite you're not going to use for a long time. They're giving you chests and letting you pick. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's one thing I did notice is that they gave you a chest to pick, which includes the new sprite, which is fantastic compared to previously when you're stuck with that sprite and you're forced to use it and level it up and you're wasting your money. So it's really good. Yeah. No, he muted himself again. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So with the sprites and the sprite bonds, are people happy about it? The bonds working out, or is it just another thing to sink your money in? Jervis, did you want to add something, or Rosa?
All right, I'll say that I don't like that the bonds come out after the 3 sprites drop. I feel like the bonds should come out with the first sprite of that bond. So like there should be a part of it that just adjusts to that, so you can get something for your money if you finish it before somebody else, right? So I feel like if they did it that way, it would make more sense, because otherwise, why do you max out a sprite from the jump if it's not going to help you until all 3 are released?
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that might be too much work for them at once to do that.
I mean, but it's just another buff, right? Like they can make buffs, they make them for everything now. So like it shouldn't be that hard to just put it out first and have the buff increase as you go.
You think it's cheaper to get it now or wait until later? Or is it equal?
What did you say?
The sprites, do you think it's cheaper to go ahead and get them like right as they're coming out, or do you think they actually get cheaper as you wait?
No, you definitely spend less money if you wait. Like if you
show up inside the chest with all of the pieces from,
and you can get those chests from various things that you're investing in. So you're investing in a 2-part thing, like winning an event, but part of that is getting these chests, or you're grabbing the smaller, cheaper packs that have a good value. If you just buy the sprite straight up, like here it comes, if you like it, you want it, you buy it before the event ends, you're going to spend $2 to $3K depending on your RNG, and then you end up with a bunch of tests that you can't use for anything. It's just a waste of money. Like when you can go slower, wait longer, buy cheaper packs, get better values, and finish it. And usually you can do that before the 3rd sprite drops and the bond opens up. So there's really no benefit unless you really need that sprite right now to make your team the best, because the sprite is just OP as OP. I'll stop there. Sure, then maybe you do it. But if that's not the case, then the only benefit is the bond. And if the bond's not working for you at the time, then why would you spend money on it? Like there's no incentive there.
Blue Broly also mentioned that they didn't do bonds, right, for the first 3 sprites. So
bonds were new after they decided to make all the sprites relevant, because for a while we had sprites we weren't using but we spent money on. We're like, well, why did we spend money on these sprites? Make them valid, like do something. They did that, and that just meant now you have to buy every sprite and you can't skip it just because it sucks, because now there's these bonds attached, and if you don't have them, you're gonna be behind and you're not gonna be able to catch up.
And Jason made the fact that let's just wait for legendary sprites to come out. We know it's coming.
I can't wait.
Yep, we're all waiting.
my credit card can't wait for it.
I mean, Goat Games did go on record saying they weren't going to do that. So technically, that shouldn't happen. But they also went on record and said they wouldn't repeat this map, and they did.
Yeah, so, following the trends, we're not even up to legendary yet. And like someone mentioned, there's still mythic to go. So, and then there'll be guardian sprites.
Yeah, and obviously mythic Astrolabe shards.
Yeah.
Coming soon to a...
Hey, we're going to stop giving them ideas.
Yeah.
So speaking of Guardians, what are people thinking about the Guardians that are in play right now? I mean, I guess, there's teams out there that's just all Guardians and they're just killing it and almost unkillable. Anyone have any thoughts on that side with the Guardians? Does anyone like the Guardians?
I mean,
and the way it's going?
Meta now, correct? I mean, the regular champs, it's kind of sad to see, and I'm not sure for us who are GC addicts, like the Guardians, the Bloodcrafts that came from the Guardian event have just been stopped. So our grind is literally for very minimal rewards nowadays. But it seems like they're coming up with some good concepts, I would say. I think that definitely their graphics, they've upped their game a lot in some instances. But it seems like we've pretty much come back to a new meta. I don't know how everybody else feels at the moment, but...
Yeah, I would say new meta. I was going to caveat that and say that I'm actually not a fan of 5 Guardian teams. Just not. I see them, don't worry about them. I tried running one, didn't have much luck with it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think the meta is, I guess, 3 Guardians and 2 champs these days. But I see Guardians in other games implemented as well. And look, it's kind of like a trend in these types of games. And unfortunately, they are quite OP, and you have to have them, I guess, to be competitive. But hopefully over time they release other champs, like just regular champs that can counter and add value to the team and mix things up. And I guess this is sort of the cyclical thing that happens with introduction of new champs or new mechanics, where people are scrambling to get it early to get that advantage, and then everyone catches up, and then there'll be something new that comes out that you have to catch up for again. And I think that's what the aim of Goat Games is trying to sort of keep people interested and spending at the end of the day, right? With the stagnation, really, of new events, now I know they've released a lot of things like the Guardian arenas, the Advanced Guardian arenas, the Luxus trials, and everything like that to sort of bolster the different things that you have to do. Now, I know some people would like that and some people don't, because it's just an extra thing you got to do daily. But has anybody thought about potential different mechanics of PvE and anything along those lines to change things up a little bit?
As far as PvP goes, I'd like them to get rid of attacker buff and defender buff when you're in Guild Conquest. I don't like the thought of you have a better chance of winning if you're attacking somebody closer to your tower than their tower, or that step off game. Like, I just wish they'd get rid of those kind of buffs and just let the stats, do what the stats are supposed to do.
I agree with the step off thing. It almost feels like cheating.
Yeah, and I don't know what the aim was in trying to have a advantage from one side to the other. Maybe it's so to stop people from, I don't know, going one way or the other, but it's causing a lot of grief and a lot of misunderstanding with the battles.
If you're running around,
I think they did it to make so that, because people are complaining about a whale will sit somewhere and then they're unbeatable the whole time. So the whole premise was, if somebody's just sitting for a long time and you attack them and you go for it, you have an advantage. But if they're actually still watching and they pull off and they step off and then they hit you, then they get that advantage that was supposed to work in your favor, and it doesn't anymore.
Okay, fair enough. Blue probably mentioned something about a guild versus guild arena. That sounds like a good idea.
Another one? He said they need some kind of other guild arena besides GC. I mean, we do have VOC, but...
Or they just need to, like, actually put effort into guild conquest. Like, there's no reason that we should be repeating the same maps and doing the same thing when, in my opinion, there's 4, like, important things right now. Like, 2 of them have their own events. The Guardian Arena has its own event, but, like, guild conquest and now this Astrolabe thing, they should have their own events to make sense. You know what I mean? Like, to make sense for why you're buying things in those areas. Like guild conquest, you used to buy speed tickets and it used to matter, but now it's so boring. Nobody uses speed tickets. They just play a few rounds a season and like it's not making any money. But if they actually put any effort into it, which I think is one of the most important game modes we have because it's what all the guilds use to bond. If every round is boring and you don't have to put any effort, then it sucks. And I feel like that's one of the main reasons that the game isn't doing as well as it should be is because they haven't put any effort into guild conquest. And they put out everything else, but the one thing that everybody cares about is recycled maps for how long? Like the same 5 maps.
Definitely.
Maps. Yeah, new maps.
Mechanics on the maps.
But it's being like severely neglected. And now this Astrolabe thing, which is also apparently really important, has like nothing. It's they're throwing in the fucking resources. Sorry, Rom. They're throwing in the resources in the every other event, and you're just supposed to say, "Oh, well, I guess I don't need these torches. I don't need the little fire pits. I'm gonna buy these RNG tests because the Astrolabe matters now, and there's nowhere else to get it."
Rom, do you have a couple things you'd like to touch base on?
I wouldn't mind hearing from Cheese or Potato over there, or maybe even Gnome. Like to get the opinions of some free to plays.
Okay, I'm gonna embarrass myself. I just realized that potatoes, if you say it, is potatoes.
Potatoes. So the official Bloodlines has like a waiver program where people can participate and add content. So some are writers, some make videos. So it's just adding creative content to the community.
Weavers
they give them
Weavers submit backstories for the new champs, right? Like their clan.
Yeah, you can
story.
write a story about their history, like their origin stories.
I have no talent in that manner.
Rom, I'm just gonna give them my origin story, my villain origin story.
Does it start in the back seat of a Prius?
No, Delta 88.
Dragon wants to speak.
I just wanted to say, I haven't been playing this game in a while, but coming back a little bit with this discussion, I'm, really happy to see everybody's doing well. Want to give a special shout out to Mario Safa. I helped bring him into D53, and I'm glad he's become such an important player for you guys. It really brings me some type of joy to see that, and see Andy doing really well. Just wanted to come up here and say that.
He's in Hidden Leaf, but he is a good player and a big part of our community.
Yeah, and that's what I'm glad to see. That's what my goal was when I brought him in here, and glad to see that he's succeeding the way he has.
Thank you, Dragon.
Yeah, we appreciate people supporting other people in the community, so thank you.
Nomish. What's going on with the free-to-play community?
Known is up here.
How do they feel about the Astrolabes?
Sorry, I'm eating and having some dinner here. Guild Conquest, I don't even play it. I love that it builds community, but I gotta say, it's one of the worst modes for one of the worst rewards. And so I wish they'd do a lot of things to fix it. In fact, I think they should focus more on skins and just selling skins. And if they sell them at a fair price, then a lot of people can get them, and that'd bring in a lot of revenue, kind of like it does for League of Legends. But what I would really like to see is a guild conquest where nobody has any sprites or any outside things, everybody has the same vigor and they can pick from the whole roster. Kind of like how when you do the Guardian Arena, you get maximum vigor. I would like that for a Guild Conquest mode. So it's fair across the board, and then let people build teams and to actually do strategy to win a match instead of just overpowering your opponent and setting your strongest person on a single node. I'm sorry, it drives me bonkers. And so, yeah, that's my thoughts on that. I think they could, instead of Vale, they could potentially do everybody's even Guild Conquest. Now that would be so entertaining. I would play that constantly. Anyhow, thanks for having me on.
Well, that's
Thanks,
quick.
Stone. We appreciate your thoughts on that, and for sure, those are some good ideas. I think for the rest of us, I'm not sure.
I don't know. I think that brings something different, doesn't it, really? You know, like there's people that are bored of the fact that they, you know, well, for instance, I won't obviously name drop everyone here, but Superfly gets quite bored about, you know, building teams and the same things, and you get new metas and things like that. And I just think that that's a nice idea, that everyone's on a level playing field and you could bring some of the excitement back into building your teams and things like that. So I don't know how that would obviously work implemented necessarily, but I think that's a really nice idea because we haven't heard anything like that before, because obviously we don't talk to free to players as much. So I just thought it was really interesting. So thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I would want a rebate on everything I spent if we switched to that type of game mode.
I mean, you'd have two modes, I suppose, but I think it would change dynamics of just everything, wouldn't it, really?
Well, I think my biggest concern is the pay to win factor really is obnoxious, where I mean, some players can drop $1,000 on an event, and that's very excessive compared to the amount of people that you're going to play against that spend the same. So that's where I think it gets a little complicated, because if someone could just outright buy a victory and they don't put any caps or guards on how fast you can grow your power, it does cause a lot of problems. But if they did have something like that, I guess that would be a unique event that would have to have a different type of prize system, and it would be something that you'd have to volunteer for.
I wonder how you decide who was in your guild as well, because it wouldn't be based on things like might or anything like that, would it? So would it just be communities coming together? You know, who you talk to, who you're friends with? Like, I wonder how it would pan out.
When I first started playing this game, and they came out with Conquest, it wasn't Conquest. It was called Guild versus Guild, and you had to pick. You could either do VOC or you could do GVG, the Guild versus Guild. So I guess it'd be similar to that, because you couldn't do both, so you had to pick one or the other.
Don't think I could ever give up GC.
I didn't give up GC.
It's a strange addiction, isn't it?
It really is.
We are gluttons for punishment. I mean, I've never seen a game mode harder where you're just grinding for 60 days straight.
Yeah, no sleep, like just really strained hours constantly.
48 hours, yeah. And then you're back at it the next night at the reset.
Literally. Although I really do like the end of GC, like better than the beginning. I do think it's quite long. But the end matches are just where it's at, when none of us sleep.
I still think they need to have some kind of random matchmaking amongst the top 10 guilds or the top 20 guilds. It's just way too easy to rig the season. And there's too many people trying to figure out little sneaky mathematical ways to get the best possible ranking instead of just going out there and just smashing each other up.
But that's because of the way they have the game set up, right? It's literally broken in that we're spending the last couple of weeks of the season looking at spreadsheets, trying to figure out math, other than just fighting our opponents and focusing on that.
You and again,
the three guild setup is also very broken, where it's, it should be one team versus one team, or like even have a Royal Rumble where you have like 4 or 6 guilds in there or something crazy. But I think the 3 guild setup is just causes a lot of dissension. It's just so easy for one to feel like that the other two are against them in a lot of cases. And
you may know me as from such shows as Astrolabe 1, Astrolabe 2.
Astrolabe 1. He's the star of Astrolabe 1.
Yeah, thank you. I guess people were talking about the matchmaking system, and I think a lot of good points there. The 1v1, maybe even 1 point for a win. instead of all these other things that people have to do math for. Azrael, what do you think?
Yeah, I could see that. Like +1.
Yeah. Plus
Like
one
they
for
do
the
in
win. That's
hockey. Yeah, you get 2 for a win, 1 for a tie.
like
Yeah,
they do with most sports, right?
This long, it kind of the season is so long, so it could be 1v1. The rounds could be shorter, right? Like we don't have to do 3 days of 1v1. We could do 2 days, like a reset, half a day, and a full day. Like we don't have to have such long rounds. We don't have to do that. We could do 1v1, or we could do like Autumn said and have 5 or 6 guilds all competing for the same thing. But like ultimately, I feel like the season should be shorter and the round should be more exciting.
I know other games, they do scheduled 3-hour matches, like 2 or 3 hour matches, and that gets rotated by day or by every second day. But yeah, I think a couple hour matches would even be pretty good because you can schedule it in, get all your players hammering, and actually play the game instead of just sitting and forgetting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'd be great wherever you live, though. For instance, like my guild's got quite a lot of UK based.
They may rotate it or something, right? So do European time,
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Have it rotated.
And so it's fair, yeah. So it's fair for people who have guilds in different areas. At least rotate the time zones when it starts.
Or it just means it shouldn't.
Honey Badger said even if they had areas where you could grind extra resources, like by fighting monsters to get sprite shards or, speed tickets, like you go and your whole guild works on some boss somewhere and you get like a little windfall of speed tickets or
the grindability
additions.
in this game. Like the free-to-play community always says it. Like they want to be able to grind things out. They don't expect to have things right away. They want to be able to grind it out in a timely manner, and this game doesn't provide that.
There's really not much grinding in this game to be had, really. I think compared to other games.
Yeah.
Jervis, did you have anything to add?
Well, I think Shim would disagree on that, but I was just going to say, I just think anybody that's willing to spend the time to just, like you said, grind it out should be rewarded with some sort of a resource. But the problem is the auto clickers. So you're really not grinding it out if you just set up an auto clicker and walk away from your phone.
Well, that's only for
arena. It needs to be the hope, right? The hope that a free-to-play player can attain the levels that a pay-to-win player gets.
I think so too. I've always
hard work.
In fact, Rom stopped me because I was trying to talk to Andy about it once upon a time that I did think that, not Andy, Bobby, that somebody that's willing to grind it out and play 10 hours a day should be able to essentially mine resources or mine extra stuff to be able to combat not putting all the money into the game.
Yeah.
Superfly said they should give a massive buff if you have only one type of champ on your team. Like one mage, one warrior, that would breathe creativity and variety. And we would get to see the champs in action, especially for warriors, which they haven't done a very good job at with the warrior.
You should be able to sign up. You should be able to sign up to allow your phone processing power to be data mined, and in return you get the resources instead of spending. So the goat still makes their money through crypto.
No, I would not allow goats.
Like grinding and that. I was like, they're talking about like mining resources. I'm like, well, data mining. You can do blockchain mining.
Yeah. I didn't think I'd allow that.
Difference between like grinding out resources and doing things that people like basically don't want to do and using an auto clicker because free to play players have the same access, same auto clicker that everybody else does. So like they can do that. It's about whether or not they can get tickets somewhere else to make that matter.
I'd like to see it like a Royal Rumble. Somebody said like your entire guild 50 versus 50 and then have like a Royal Rumble with like an elimination, like last man standing.
Yeah, 1v1, 50 apiece. Like one team.
But like when you're out, you're
Oh.
out. Like if if a bunch of little guys like go and take out a big guy, then he's off the map for the rest of the game, and until there's one person left standing, that would be kind of fun.
Just to be clear, when you say 50, you're not talking about Rom's age, right?
Well,
Easy with the age discrimination.
just had a birth. He's still the birthday boy, sort of.
Rom's not 50 yet, so we don't talk about that. But no, the like if it was a 1v1 type of situation, instead of having 20 players per round, you could have all 50 of your guild members in the round with one team each instead of 3 teams where 2 teams are useless.
I think Known wanted to add something. Go ahead, Known.
I wanted to dive into the whole champs idea, and it could even be a moneymaker for GOAT. But if they start allowing or doing small upgrades to old champs, say, I think someone mentioned Sally Horn in the chat. Like, what if they just up the damage of the active by a little bit? Like, just these small tweaks, and they could put it in the change log and the patch notes, and everything could be accounted for. But you know what? Maybe it'll get people to do some of these, or say there's the companion event, and people don't have a certain old clan. Maybe they'd be off to spend a little bit of money to be able to get that if some of the older clans were a little bit updated. But as it stands with Guardians and before them Bloodcraft, all the old clans are very, I mean, I use female lion stone still. I think that's about it from the old times. And so being able to update or put in a pay mechanism where people can pay or use diamonds or something to update the old champions. So then maybe people could infuse them into their groups.
Look, it's coming to the hour, and I guess I want to give one last chance for anybody that may have missed out in the beginning to say shout-outs to their guild and do a bit of a thanks. Does anybody else want to say anything about give a shout-out for the guild? I think, oh wait, I've got Pote.
Yeah, no, quick shout out. It's been a great season. Mind the background noise. I'm at work, so I might drop off unexpectedly. But yeah, it's been good. I think the start of the season, everyone came out with a lot of vim, a lot of vigor, and it's as the season's kind of rolled on, it's just gotten quieter and stale. But I think a lot of that's already been addressed.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, mate.
But I speak for myself, not for AA, obviously.
Yeah, no, excellent. How is everybody on your team? Are they enjoying the GC season, or is there anything that they would like changed?
We're still a tight knit family. It's just like it is. It's a dead game mode. It's kind of a shame that they dropped these good PvP events. Like Advanced Arena was great in its initial conception, and now it's just kind of free for all. You don't even need to worry about what you throw in there. You're going to get your rewards regardless.
Thanks, Bertha.
I appreciate that. Thank you for coming.
I think Known wanted to say something whilst they decide.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got another suggestion for Guild Conquest. If the top players could literally lock up one of their slots on their team, so they're playing one handicap. So instead of a 5-player team, that would have 4, or if they want to lock up 2 players, but the more they lock up, the more their points accumulate while they're holding certain nodes or maybe a multiplier or something. Therefore, if they really want to challenge, some of these big dogs can always drop a slot and see how well they do then. But again, and while they're doing that, their whole team is benefiting because they're gaining more points quicker. Sorry.
Yeah, I guess if Go Games implemented something like that as an inbuilt system, because I know we tried in the past to do the 2 champs thing, and I don't think that worked very well. So yeah, I believe Mario wants to have a chat as well. Yep.
Thanks, Mario.
Hey guys, my name is Mario. I'm a member of Hidden Leaf. I would like to shout Shim and Elle for the amazing work they've done throughout the GCs and keeping everyone happy. and lovely. And thanks everyone for your time. And that's about it.
Thanks,
Great.
Mario.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, thank you.
Any other
Mara.
guilds that haven't had a chance to come up and to give a shout out to their teammates for all their hard efforts and work?
Yeah, if there's any asylum here, I guess I'll represent. Great group of people. My original guild merged into Asylum, so yep. I mean, I don't really play any guild Conquest, but it's been a great guild. Everyone's been really helpful. So major shout out to my people too.
All right, thanks, Noan. What about Cheese? Anybody from Blackgate? Spartan?
Yeah. Cheese did mention something.
What else are we
that,
missing?
yeah.
All right, Cheese, thanks. Come on
There
up.
you go.
And yeah, busy night at work, but I just want to give a shout out to my guild Blackgate, all the people that work hard, Red, Eve, Oreo, Pound, everyone in Blackgate. It works hard all Guild Conquest season for us.
More importantly, Cheese, are you done with college now?
Oh God, I got next week's final week, and then I'll be graduating finally.
Congrats.
Congrats. Well done.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cheese.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate you coming up.
Do we have a word from Rom?
What, Nate?
Yeah, anything you want to add, Jeff?
I was just
Come on.
curious if Potato Man was from New Zealand or Australia.
Don't start with that. This is a PG conversation, Rom.
I wasn't. I just want to know if he was a Kiwi or an Aussie. That's all.
Andy, you're the
He's
expert on
Aussie.
those
He's
accents.
Aussie. He's definitely Aussie.
Okay.
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming on, and we officially end the party right now. But I guess the after party. Everyone's happy to sort of, if you want to add anything to the conversation or continue on, by all means, go for it. But again, great showing. It shows that being a tight-knit community is what's important, and we really need to sort of stick together, play hard, but also keep in mind that we're all people at the end of these screens, and we need to obviously show respect to everybody. So awesome work, everybody.